Everybody keeps asking about One Life, One Chance podcast merchandise. I finally released t-shirts and crewneck sweatshirts. You can go to www.h2omerch.com and you can pre-order right now. It's a worldwide international shipping. Size is small through 5X. If you really want to support the podcast, this is the best direct way to do so. So I appreciate that very much. You can pick up that merch today. Thank you. Welcome to the One Life, One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. Today I have a very, very special guest. We go way, way back before we were doing anything besides selling shoes. Maybe I'm not sure if you were doing stuff besides selling shoes, but welcome to the podcast, Yolanda Ross, Yo-Yo, as we used to call you. And we have a special co-host here. He's been here a couple times, but he never has a microphone. So Mr. Derek Green's here in the mix today.
Thank you for giving me a microphone.
You have a voice for radio. How are you, Yolanda?
Yo, I'm excellent. I'm alive.
Doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
Before we get to my favorite show and probably Derek's favorite show, The Chai, we're going to take you back like I always do on this podcast and bring it back to your life and how everything started with you. You were born in Omaha, Nebraska, correct?
Correct.
And what was it like growing up there?
You know what? To me, growing up in Nebraska, it reminds me of I don't know if you remember, like on Sunday nights, there used to be like Sunday night movies.
Yeah.
Just movies when there were like 3 channels. That's what it reminds me of. It's just like one of those nice places that's quiet and the houses are cute. The lawns are like, mowed. There's a couple of cars. It's just, that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Just middle of the world kind of home life.
So what was it like going to school there and growing up there?
Well, I thought it was what it was. It was school. Second grade, up until second grade, I lived in more of a city area.
Yeah.
And then mid-second grade, we moved out to the middle of nowhere. So it was like I was then in schools with primarily white kids.
Okay.
So, we were the black kids at school. And it was interesting because you're just kind of thrown into a whole new world, sort of. And you just, make it through it. What's funny that I've noticed now when Facebook became a thing,
yeah,
and you then start, people start hitting you up like, hey, you remember me from school? And da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's like I only really remember the black people.
Wow.
From like second grade and before. All these different white kids from later on that you would see year after year after year after year, I just never really knew them.
Wow.
But knew who they were, but it was like they remember you, but you don't remember them. And it's like a sea of, white kids kind of. So I thought that was an interesting thing when people would like hit me up and it's like, yeah, I kind of remember your name. I don't remember you. It's just sort of
Let me pull out some yearbooks.
Yeah, like from third grade. It was interesting.
You have brothers and sisters?
I have 3 sisters.
And
so we're an all-girl family.
Okay. You guys were tight growing up?
Yeah.
You guys went to school together too?
No, because the way schools were broken up, I didn't end up in the same schools as my sisters at the same time. I had like 2 sisters, I think, that ended up going to school together, but I was never in school with any of my siblings.
Yeah. Were your parents strict?
Yes. Mr. Ross is strict. Yes.
Very strict.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like, we were just like those nerdy kids. We just did what we were told, and it wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't like we were out there acting crazy or doing craziness. So,
were you the youngest? Or where were you in relation?
We don't need to know where I am in the lineup. We don't need to know all that. Just know there's 3 more of us.
Okay, all right. Next question.
Because trust me, as an actor, it changes. So, yeah.
Were you guys a religious family?
No. My parents, grew up in religious households. So when they became adults, it was like Sunday was for sleeping.
Wow.
I mean, because it's like they work, they got kids.
Yeah.
Saturday, you're still doing stuff. Sunday, we need to sleep because we got to go back to work Monday.
Okay.
So, it was like that. And, we would go to church like on holidays, like Easter, and sometimes we were with our grandparents. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I would say we weren't religious, but there was right and wrong. There was don't lie or don't kill. I can't even tell you all the commandments. So I'm just like, I know those 2.
I believe there's 10.
Yeah. It's like, I know there's 10, but I probably remember like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I would say for me personally, I'm probably more of a spiritual person.
Yeah.
And I do believe if you can truly live by do unto others, as you would have them do unto you.
Yeah.
I think you'd be all right.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's where everybody should live. We'd be in a better place right now.
Hell yeah.
Were you a good student?
Yes. Actually, we all were. I was, a good student, but more of an artistic person. I was the person in our family that just made stuff all the time.
Very creative.
Yes. And all like in music and art. I was just always making stuff because it just, I don't know, that's where my interests were and are.
Yeah. So you graduated, obviously.
Yeah. I actually went to school for, well, you mean like high school or college?
High school.
Yeah, I did.
And what was your goal? So like, what you want to do?
Wait a minute. So, this is like crazy because I've never said this out loud.
You heard it first, exclusive.
No, it really is though. I got it in my head as a child. I was 11. And I got it in my head that I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to meet Daryl Hall and I'm going to have a conversation with him.
Daryl Hall?
Hall & Oates.
Wow.
You make my dreams come true.
That's amazing.
I literally, and I don't know what it was that got it into my head or how it got in there, but but it literally was like, that was it.
Were you a big fan of them or something?
I wasn't at the time. I mean, I was 11, so
that's crazy. It
was so random and it was so crazy. And, but it was in there and it just grew. Wow. So literally at 11, my whole plan and all through high school, it was like, let me get all these things together because I'm going to New York. I'm going to find a school in the city where I think this man lives.
This is crazy.
I know, but it is.
She wasn't even a fan, Derek.
What?
But
I became my dreams come true.
But those songs weren't even, yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
Hits. Come on.
Yeah, they were. I actually prefer the 70s Hall & Oates, so I'll just say that. But I did that, and by the time I got there, he didn't even live in the city anymore. Wow. He lived upstate New York. So this is so crazy. But I met him like 3 different times. Like I literally got there, moved to New York, met him at Tower Records, and I was like, oh wait, so hold up, I can't use this time because it's like I'm not. He's just going to look at me as a fan. I just got here and I don't have anything to really say just yet. So that wasn't the time. I met him again, like, I don't know, sometime like 93 maybe, in a Sasha London's that I worked at. And then in Nana. Okay. So in Nana, when he came in, this was like maybe 95 or so. Yeah. He came in, and I was up in the office with Danica and Christine. And they knew I liked Hall & Oates, and it was like Daryl Hall's downstairs. I was like, what? And he's like, because like the way that was like, the office was up. You can see it on everything. Yeah, you can look down on the whole store. So I was like, peeking over, looking down, And I was like, oh shit, he's here. Okay, get out there. And they were like, go down there and go talk to him. Go help him with some shoes. Of course, we didn't have his size 11. He wanted some red oxblood, Doc Martens. And we were always out of sizes. Yeah. So I was like, okay, let me get your information. So
perfect.
No, it was totally perfect.
Your address too, please.
Yeah, your number. So I got all the information and talked to his assistant. And that's who I really kept in contact with. Yeah. And so at that point, like, we became friends. And then I started going upstate New York and hanging out and became friends with them, like all of the crew of Hall & Oates.
Holy crap.
It was bananas. So we actually had, but I also wasn't acting at that point. So I really didn't want to have that conversation yet.
Okay.
I didn't have that conversation until like 2007, I think it was.
So were you in contact with him after you came to Nana?
Yeah.
Did he remember meeting you before?
No, because before it was just
like meet and greet type shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, and the other place I was helping him wear a pair of shoes, but I didn't talk to him at all.
You didn't say I was the one that met you before, yeah.
No, it was after
Were you nervous?
this. When we did have the conversation, we had already known each other for a while because I had been going up there and hanging out.
You've been stalking him and stuff, yeah.
No, but it wasn't even stalking, which is so weird because...
This is incredible, by the way. It's an insane story. I love it.
No, but it is crazy, and it's one of those things where, because he invited me to... I was at when they got the, not Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, there's a thing, writers and... It's like when writers get awards for something. I forget what the award show thing was called. But I was there, at their table then, and Willie Nelson came by, and I was like, ooh, wow. Willie Nelson looked good. Yeah, but I was like, okay, this old man. But he looked, he was cool and whatever. But that's so off track. What I
doesn't matter though.
No, I know, so off track. But
the fact that you said you wanted to go there and like meet him and then it actually happened, like you put that out there, like you.
Yeah, but like I feel I can make things happen.
Yeah.
And at that point, when I went to the awards show with him, I had started acting, I'd done just a couple things.
Okay.
But then when we had the conversation, like 2007, at that point, I was who I am now.
Yep.
And when I look back on how the whole thing got in my head and why I'm here, because it was never ooh, he's sexy or ooh, I like him. It's like I have to have this conversation.
Yeah.
And so when I look back on it in that way, I feel he was used as the catalyst to get me on this journey to get
pretty
here.
Awesome.
Because
inspiration, motivation.
Well, but like he was the thing that was used in my life.
Yeah.
Because I feel like all the things that I've been through in life, which seem like a bunch of different lives, have gotten me to where I am, where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it's like paying attention to signs, it's listening to things, it's acting on things that, might not make sense to you, but you do it. And that's one of those things where, literally if he lived in Japan, I'd be a Japanese speaking black girl.
Wow,
it's
man.
like I was just going to make that happen, period. But I think he was used to get me on my journey of life.
And does he know that?
I told it to him in some ways, and it was like crazy because we were like up all night talking, like all night talking.
Man.
And the conversation went... It hit everything, and he even talked about how kind of, we're having this conversation and it's all over the place, and it wasn't anything he expected, and it was like, it was kind of like what I knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of a surreal situation when you're looking at this person like right here. And
now you're finally with him, talking to him.
You're like a little kid,
yeah,
but also a grown woman, and it's like it was just like a weird night, weird interesting night. And that part of me got out. So it's like I accomplished that, and I've already moved into other things, but that thing had to happen, and it did.
It's pretty amazing, man. Like you inspire people when you make music to do different things, change their lives, or like just everything. But for you, it made you like leave the nest and come to New York and kind of follow your dreams, and find them and follow your dreams. It's
But that's why I say, like, I feel, the world, God, whoever put him in my, in front of me to get me to, because I don't understand any other reason why. Yeah. Because it wasn't even like
you were a big fan.
And the song that did it was Wait For Me. Wait For Me.
Okay.
And
I probably know, but I still know.
It's like a late 70s song.
Okay.
Wait for me. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like, I was going to sing it and I was like, no.
But you make my dreams come true. That's crazy. Like,
but that's like, and that's after.
I know.
And, Sarah Smile was one. I mean, all these songs were already out, but it was Wait For Me that did it.
That's crazy. That guy, like, pretty much put you on the path without even knowing it. It's so weird. You don't even know the guy. It's a stranger. Yeah. And then you become friends later on, though, after your journey started.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
crazy.
Wow. So besides that, what inspired you to become an actress? Like, is it something you thought about in high school?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm pretty shy as a person.
Yeah.
Music and like all of that is in me, and I love performing. I love singing. I don't particularly like being in front of people as me though. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean that's hard. So I to think of myself as far as getting in front of people and acting, I was like because I couldn't even do classes. So it's just like, I don't want people talking about me. I don't want people, talking shit. It's just like, Yeah. But when it happens, when I got to do my first thing, which was New York Undercover.
Yeah.
I was still at Nana.
Malik Yoba.
Yeah. He used to come through.
Yeah. Out all the time.
Right?
Yeah. See him all the time.
He was out and about, right?
Yeah. New York. But we were all like, around, that opened up something in me. And I mean, because like I had been in the fashion business for a while, and it was boring to me. It was getting boring. And I needed something else, because it's like, I just feel like when you start getting bored with anything, you have to move on, because otherwise you're going to just start messing up. But that came about, and when I was working on the part, there was something waking up in me that I was like, this is interesting. Okay. So I was learning something. So that was cool. And then, it was like 4 years. Well, Nana closed, then Stranger Inside came through, and I got that. And that really cemented it for me, because it was like I was becoming other people. And, when you spend a month being somebody else, it's like, there's all these things that kind of wake up in you, or you learn about yourself. And I learned that, I learned a lot about myself. There were parts of me that, came through in that character that I was like, I didn't even realize were there. Yeah. So, because I feel at that point, emotion wise, I was still somebody that kind of kept things under wraps completely and didn't utilize a lot of my emotions. When it came to then becoming somebody else,
you bring those emotions out, right?
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was bananas to me, because there was stuff I never even used, felt, or anything like that. So I felt like when that happened, my emotions became real. They're on my they're out there. Yeah. Like I feel stuff. And
you never felt before.
Yeah. And I take in people's energy, and I feel, to me, that's something that helps create characters, become other people. And it's, I don't know. That's what I feel these days. I am a very emotional person, to some degree.
Yeah. And you weren't before that. Before you started acting, you kept things inside.
Yeah, I kept things inside. that's right now I'm just like, you will get whatever I feel. And I don't have a problem with it now. But at the same time, even when saying that, I feel like Play-Doh kind of, because like I feel like Yolanda is still just like this, like little bundle of clay waiting to be rolled into somebody else and be made into somebody else. So, I feel that's a good thing, because I also feel like I'm not putting any color on my characters. They come through pure.
I love that.
And Did any of the directors have any help in developing your emotions to come out? Were they helpful in that way, in certain characters, trying to give you direction, or was it something you just came to from yourself?
I don't feel like directors like helped form emotion. I feel like that came. It's the characters coming through. I mean, to me, it's the characters coming through. It's what's on the page. And and giving the director everything they're looking for. Okay. I feel like with the directors I've worked with, it's been more or less guiding. Like more of this or more of that, or let's try this to have a different color, like that kind of thing. But we come with the work done. Okay. Yeah. Right.
And so, is that nerve-wracking? Your first show as New York Undercover? Because that was a pretty big show, I remember.
Yeah, it was. It was cool, And I see our episode, Evander Holyfield was in it too.
Wow.
So that was, it was like wow, but it was interesting because I got all my stereotypes knocked out. I was pregnant, I was a crackhead, and I got shot, all in the same character. So, and same episode. But one thing that was so crazy to me was my character was smoking crack, right? And I had no idea how to hold the pipe. I'm just like, the director could see it. And he was like, I hate to say this, but let me help you. I used to, and I was like, oh. And then I had somebody else like, oh, okay, well, thanks, guys. But yeah, like, just like little things like that. It's the industry is interesting. I mean, we're real people.
Yeah. And what did you do before that, acting wise? Did something happen before that? Wow, that's the first one.
That was the first one.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the first one. So I was like, it was just really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Even just breaking down the script where I was learning how I do things. And if you ever see any of my scripts, they kind of look like sheet music because, I grew up in music. So I will break down a script like a piece of music so that, because I mean, I feel like your voice, your cadence, all of that stuff is smart. It's timing. It's, I know my repertoire as far as music. So I know certain songs, certain notes, when they come out of me, will get certain emotions out. Yeah. And I feel like when I can break a script down like that, it helps me stay in the right emotion, that I want for this part or, whatever.
Yeah. So why not music? Why did you go for that?
You know what? I did. I did a little bit because I went to, I had gotten a band together, a jazz band.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's hard keeping people together.
Yeah, it is. Sure.
We were playing at Match on was it Mercer?
Mercer Street.
Mercer Street.
Yes.
Sorry. And it's hard. Like I don't want that job of keeping a band together.
Yeah.
I have no problem going in and singing on somebody's stuff or showing up and singing. And, and just being responsible for me, but being responsible to get other people together when they're people that work with other bands. Yeah.
A lot of personalities, everything.
Yeah. And it's just like, that's just not my thing. I would love to sing more. It was just not something that I really liked doing as far as the whole getting everybody together. I actually wrote a song for Antoine Fisher.
Oh, wow.
For the soundtrack, man, but they didn't end up using it. So it's like I do love to write music and sing and do all that, but I just,
And how'd you learn that? That was something your whole family was into music?
No, well, you know what? My dad had all of us playing instruments.
Okay.
And I was in marching band at school, so
it's awesome.
It's like I'm a musical person.
Yeah.
So and I do love to sing, and I've always loved singing. So yeah.
That's awesome. So when you left school, where'd you go to college at?
I went to this school in New York called Toby Coburn.
Oh, so you went right from there to New York. Okay.
I wasn't waiting. I had to get to Daryl Hall.
I know.
Come on.
Daryl Hall University.
Yeah.
So you went there. What was your major?
Fashion merchandise.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, you killed that. Wow.
Yeah, so, because, I didn't know of FIT. I wish I
FIT,
had.
yeah, that's right.
But, I went to that school for fashion business.
Did you have friends in New York or anything?
Didn't know anybody.
Wow. It's a big move. So you're 18 or something?
17.
Whoa.
So you went there? You lived in a dorm there?
There were no dorms.
She's went
New
to
York.
New York? Wow, man, you were on a mission.
I was like, dude, I told you. I do not play around. It's like,
so by yourself to New York, had you been in New York City before that?
We came to look at the school,
Okay.
I guess like the year before, 2 years before or something.
Because but Nebraska to New York is like a massive change.
Massive. But you know what? Like if you don't have expectations, you just go open,
Yeah.
So it was just a different place to learn. Even just like coming here to LA. I now know LA really well. But when I first started coming out here, it's like I only knew the west side. I didn't know it was like Columbus. Like when I went to the east side, it's not flat. It doesn't stop at La Brea.
Yeah,
LA.
yeah.
It's like there's a whole other world on the east side. So I learned. You just learn new places.
Yeah, that's the same thing about New York. Like when I lived in New York, I never went past like 23rd Street. I was downtown, and then when I go back to visit, I would stay at my friend's apartment on the Upper West Side in the 70s. I was like, wow, this is like
it's a whole other world.
It's a whole different world up here, and this is New York City. This is so different than downtown.
Well, yeah, that is funny because, like, even living there, I don't really wander up above 23rd Street that often. Yeah. But now it's like, I do have friends up in Inwood. Like, my best friend lives in Inwood. So it's like, I'll go up there, but I also kind of lived in Brooklyn for the most part. Mm-hmm. So, it is funny, the areas. Like, I don't like the east side of Manhattan. Yeah. It's like I'm a west side person. Something about the streets just get small and tiny and cramped, and it drives me crazy being over there. It just seems like there's so many people. Yeah. And I feel like on the west side, there's just more space to move around on the sidewalks and stuff. So you moved to New York at 17 years old. You're in New York City, and you're going to college. Mm-hmm. And was that a scary mission at first or no? Mm-mm. It seems like you were focused, like what you wanted from the jump. Well, I was focused, and I just, it was just open. Yeah. It's not, if you don't have a bunch of negative thoughts, or it's just something to learn. It was a bit lonely because you don't know anybody, but at the same time, I was never somebody that was out partying or hanging with people. I was always kind of alone. So it was really no different. Did you ever party before that growing up? Mm-mm. Never tried drugs and shit like that when you were young? Wow. Not at all. That's awesome. No, it just wasn't something we did. So there was no pressure at school, none of that stuff back then. I don't think people were pressuring the black kids. I really don't. Yeah, it's like, hey, come on, smoke this. Like, no. Yeah, I was lucky if anybody talked to you, so no. So you really hadn't tried anything or parties before you moved to New York? Mm-mm. And you're 17, now you're in New York. No, and you know what? I learned about alcohol when I became, after Nana, when I became a bartender. Wow. So I learned alcohol, and I appreciate it. I appreciate tasting it. Okay. And making things. It's like you have an understanding of them. Yeah. What was your first job in New York? Strawberries. I worked at Strawberries at a store, ladies' clothing store. Did you learn a lot in college? Like, I don't know. Did you get out of it what you thought you were going to get out of it? Time. Time to find out where Daryl Hall is. Yeah, that's... yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it was interesting because I don't know what I got out of it. I mean, I really wanted to get to New York, and I always figured, just like I still figure with acting, once you get into it, that's when you learn. Whatever these jobs are, you learn on the job because every place is different. Yeah. So,
Yeah. So what year you start working at Nana?
93.
93, yeah. Maybe earlier than that, because I think I left in 93.
Really?
Yeah, because my band started in 94.
No, you were still there.
During the band?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Dude, I still got my H2O shirt.
You definitely were there, dude. You were designing
the t-shirts
and everything. When I
totally remember that. Going to, was it Kinko's and getting, or somewhere, because like I have like a little short one.
Wow, man.
That you made, and it was like, and wait a minute, but check this out. You were playing somewhere, and you had this Rasta hat. You did, and it had like braids attached to it, and I was like, "What? Yeah." I'm like, "What is this?" Okay.
Because I had a shaved head because it was some of.
Oh my god!
So
I don't know if we'd still be friends if I saw that, bro.
All right, so here's the deal, everybody listening. I worked at Nana Shoes in Manhattan, in Soho on Prince Street with Yolanda. She was my boss, and Derek Green worked across the street at Fat Farm, and he was the security guard outside.
No,
right?
was it?
You went outside sometimes?
No, I was just hanging out.
Just hanging out.
So like Derek's job was to hang out front.
I was the assistant manager.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay, so but I had known Derek through the scene, right?
Yeah.
When do we meet? Or back then, when you first came to New York?
The scene, probably through like Sick of It All guys, or Charlie, or he's like, yo, he's the roadie for Sick of It All.
Okay,
like, oh, cool.
And then Yolanda was my boss, and then we also worked with John Fuentes, who went off to do Nonfiction, which is a successful, wonderful, great hip hop group. And then Christine and Danica and Bonnie.
And Bonnie.
And
Bonnie,
yeah, we had a whole crew in there.
No, I had to keep everybody in my store because they wanted to hang out on the street all the time. So
gotcha.
Y'all were always outside.
They were always outside.
For real.
It's like, yo, nobody's gonna come into the store. Yeah. Thugs hanging out front.
But wait, you know who else worked with us?
Who?
Isaac.
He worked at Nana?
What? How do you? Yeah.
I forgot that. We have a job there.
Yo, we had like everybody. Sam Siegler.
Oh, yes. Sam Siegler. Wow.
Siegler worked
there.
Yeah,
I mean everybody.
Wow.
Everybody worked there.
It was crazy.
It was an amazing place. And Nancy, she's out here now. Well, she was always out here. Who owned?
Because Nana came to LA first, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. And so even all of that was like a whole thing because like. Nana was where I was at, but then when it decided, they decided to close up the New York stores, I was like, okay, I'm going to take this as a sign to take this acting thing seriously. So it was like one of those things where a door closes, something opens.
Yeah.
And, and it all worked.
What year did Nana close?
95, 96,
okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we were talking about this, me and you, like...
You came on the road with right?
Yeah, I went up...
Were you into punk at all? Any of that shit before we met or any of that shit? Did you know anything about hardcore? Nothing?
Yo, no. No. I mean, when I moved to New York, I would see,
punk
hairdos.
CBGBs, all that stuff.
Yeah,
but in that world...
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that
Did you come on a U.S. tour or a Europe tour?
Europe.
Damn,
wow.
what tour?
I was with y'all.
I know, 94, 90.
We were talking about, I think
95.
94, 95, something like that, because it was
Civ too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's my H2O's first tour, 6-week tour, Sick of It All, Civ, and H2O.
So much
like 6
fun.
weeks on a bus. We shared a bus with Civ. It was a crazy ass tour. Moon came out and visited me. We were just dating at the time. Yolanda came out to that tour.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
It was so much fun.
Was that your first time in Europe too?
First time in Europe, yeah.
Wow.
And we went with you guys because I went to London, Amsterdam, Brussels. It was raining. And Manchester is when like those skinheads were like...
Well, the bootleggers, you were there?
Yeah, dude, I was totally there.
Dude, it was like all in Krang magazine.
It
was a huge fight.
Wow.
It was like written up in Krang. We talked about this in the podcast before, the Sick of It All guys, but they were bootleggers. And then we went outside and they had bats and we had pipes. And then I hit a guy in the face with a mayonnaise jar. And they were bootlegging Scratch the Surface shirts, I think. And it was this huge it was like a face-off, and then
in Manchester.
we got threatened they were going to come to the next show. Mm-hmm. And the next show, like Mark Emmity, like put barbed wire and kegs around the bus because they were going to come and get us. Yeah, it was.
I didn't know it was all that.
It was crazy, Yolanda, and I think I swung or somebody hit Craig with a pipe in the arm.
Wow.
And we all went out there together. It was so you were there, holy shit! And then Krang wrote about this huge thing about it.
That's insane.
So they were bootlegging shirts, and then Craig said, "We have to go out there and see what's up." We came watching through the venue, and when I saw, it was like all these dudes. It was like totally outnumbered, man.
Yeah.
And then shit just popped off for a couple minutes, and then we had to run back in the venue. But Craig got some shirts. It was like scratch the surface long sleeves.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
You have
I
to
like
be careful with that. Man.
You do.
I mean, because in Italy they have a lot of bootleggers, and they're run by the mafia. So.
We found that out later on. That it was
really.
Yeah.
We found out it was ran by the Manchester mob, and they wrote that on the side of a bus.
Yeah.
And so it was scary.
You really be
you might have
careful.
bounced after that show. Maybe went home from England, but the next day we didn't worry about that. Yeah.
I didn't. No, dude,
You
my
were there. That's
first
like
time.
a historic event. That's crazy.
I had no idea it was that crazy.
It was a little wild, man. Mark Emmity was on tour with us. It was just, we didn't know. We just knew there was tons of bootlegs outside, and some of those bootlegs look really nice, like good quality.
Of course, yeah.
Like
really
better than
nice.
your own
It's
shit.
true.
Let me get one of those.
That happens in Mexico too. Incredible bootlegs.
Yeah, they do.
But they're very nice. They start giving you stuff like this is for your crew, this is for your band. You know what?
Yeah.
It's good promotion.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that you don't have to pay for.
Damn, it's crazy that I started working at Nana. You're my boss, and then got you into this crazy moves. Then you went to Europe with us.
Yeah.
It was holy shit. I love that.
That was
man.
a lot of fun. It really was.
Did you like the music, or you can keep it real? You can keep it real on the podcast.
Tell the truth.
No, you know what? I like some.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be truthful. I am a singer. I just like
You're a
I
musician.
like certain. I mean, I like music. Voice wise, I do like to sing along with things, but I can't sing along to these songs.
No.
You know,
You gotta scream.
Yeah, and that hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this is like off subject, but I just when Eddie Van Halen died,
Yeah.
I was reading stuff and that he had approached Daryl Hall to sing with them, and I'm just like, wow, that man's voice with that band, that would have wrecked it. I mean, that's just a whole.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting, just like kind
Wow.
of thing to hear about.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me either.
I didn't know either.
So you're still following? Oh, you just okay. I was gonna say still following Daryl.
But it just I just read it.
That's cool.
It was very interesting.
So did you like the whole culture of the punk scene? You thought it was interesting?
Yes.
Was it wild when you first saw it?
I did. I thought it was interesting because you explaining it to me, it was like that there are daytime shows.
Yeah.
And that
Matinees.
they're kids and there's no drinking. And I was like, oh, so what do they, it was like iced tea and stuff. I had no, it was.
Iced teas?
No, but it just was.
Some Snapple.
Snapple was the shit back then.
No, but
Snapple was
literally.
on-
Yeah.
So it was like I didn't understand that, and I thought it was interesting.
You think
to hear.
from like outside perspective, it looks so crazy, and these kids would be like all fucked up and slam dancing and
but they're not messed up.
I know.
It's the excitement from the
interesting.
music.
Yeah.
And and I totally get that because it's like, the times I have gone, like say to Bonnie's parties, like, and dancing, like music is addictive.
Totally.
It just, and it's not anything else. It's just the music.
Yeah.
So I totally respect it and get it.
Yeah, it's an interesting energy, especially from outside perspective, looking at punk and hardcore. It just seems like this violent, insane shit, which it can be, but like this people that they're pure, the straighters are vegan, all that shit.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, how it can kind of take over, I get it too, because I remember being in London and I was on the sidelines with my friend Ruth, and Sick of It All was singing, Lou was up front, da 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 da, and I was like, let me take these hoops off, I want to jump, it's just like you start getting all like, it's like, it's like, oh, they gonna catch me, like
Totally.
Did you ever dive? Wow.
Yeah.
I'd never do it again. No,
Did you do it in England?
I did it in English.
Holy shit, that's
it was
amazing,
just like,
Yolanda.
It's I don't know. It was so like
it felt
just
good. It
takes
felt exciting.
over. Yeah. And I'm just like, wow. And so
Well, you stage dive one time your whole life in England at a Sick of It All show. That's pretty fucking sick. That's like some street cred shit.
Oh yeah.
I dived once at Sick of It All in England. That's awesome, man.
It's
Holy
like crazy
shit.
though, but I really do appreciate like all of these different times. That's why I say I feel like I've had so many different lives, and they're all a part of me. But you don't really think about that stuff until like moments like this when you're just like, oh yeah, I did that. That was crazy. Like I wouldn't do that now, but yeah,
you were in the moment too.
Yeah. In the moment. Yeah.
So did you feel different coming back from that trip at all? Like just going to Europe or?
It was amazing. Seeing this different place that I knew of. Yeah. And seeing how people were, and now having British friends, and so it just I loved it. And something else that I really loved that I learned from you and the guys was just like, I thought it was so beautiful how your fans are such a, there's a community. Yeah. Like I know Lou said it. I think you said it before too. It's like, when we get to this country, we know these people, and sometimes we stay at their homes and whatever, or they make stuff for us, and it's like, wow, so you get to know these people, and I think it's beautiful. I really do.
You. That's a great point about hardcore music. It's such a community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we're not like on a stage. Everybody's equal. Yeah. Like the band you just saw playing could be selling their T-shirts after they're done. You could be hanging out with them. Like it's nothing. Yeah, everybody's equal, and it is a community. It's not like a big rock band on a stage over there, and
and then everybody gets into their tour buses. Nobody talks.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a community. Yeah, it's a good point, right, Derek?
Absolutely, I love that about it.
So when you got back from that, I say Nana was awesome. I remember like shit when the Nas-O-Matic came out, we had the cassette tape playing over and over again, and then John was talking about hip hop. He always rhymed, and he was going to do a group, and like it's just crazy. We all kind of went out from there and did our own thing,
Well, yeah, no, that place was really, really its own little bubble of amazingness, because it did have all these different types of people in it, and everybody was really creative. Yeah. I mean, I learned of HR there. Yeah. Because Danica used to play, their CDs, his CDs all the time. And I was just like, I'm like, wow, who is this? And it's like, let me tell you who else I learned of. I learned of, I don't know, I don't remember the kid's name that worked at Nana, but there was a guy there that, like a little Puerto Rican kid that would play this music. And I'm like, what is that dead music? Like, who is that? Like, I would call it dead music because the voice was kind of drone and...
was it emo goth or something?
It was Morrissey.
Wow.
And I was like, because I kept saying this dead music. So where's that tape at? Because I kind of like the dead music. So I put, but I also knew it from childhood because, the white kids at school would play, Morrissey all the time.
Smiths.
Yeah, and the Smiths. So it was like, oh, okay. So let me get my collection together. It's like you love just good stuff.
Right.
Yeah, we would take turns DJing. They were playing our own stuff too. That's right.
It's the same thing in our store too.
Yeah,
fun,
I mean,
right?
but it's beautiful to learn of different music. I mean, because I hate to say it, like we didn't grow up listening to jazz, but Bonnie would play a lot of jazz in the store, and I learned of Nina Simone. It's like I knew her voice, but never actually knew who she was and her songs, and so like that and Pat Metheny. I love Pat Metheny. So it's just like you learn about all these different types of music that you didn't grow up listening to. So
I don't know if we played hardcore now because you were allowed to play like punk in there.
I played once I got into the scene a tiny bit. I did have the what was the Sick of It All album during that time?
Was it Scratch the Surface?
Yeah. Consume was my song.
Consume, yeah.
Yeah, like that. I love that.
Did Fat Farm play only hip hop?
Yeah,
you were playing. You
were Russell's like, definite, Russell was very, he was like, I come in here, I want to hear hip hop, period. Yeah, and so then, but that's not true because one of the managers, she got me turned into Massive Attack. I was like, I never heard of Massive Attack. She was like, I'm dating this guy. His name is Mushroom. You never heard of Massive Attack? I was like, nope.
My man's name is Mushroom.
She was like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, oh my God. I, became fanatical with them once I started listening to it. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. But it was like hip hop or R&B, but usually hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what? My first Thanksgiving in New York, the place I was staying in, because I was telling you, like, my school didn't have dorms. So I stayed in this thing that the Salvation Army had for women.
Wow.
Well, that's what
DIY, man.
No, but literally that's what the school was offering.
That's
like
cool.
They were like not dorms, but they were like women's places.
Yeah.
Where were they located?
Gramercy Park.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
Okay.
yeah, it was so crazy, so odd. But they where was that going with that?
Staying there.
Staying there, school. Oh shit, I can't remember what I was going to say, but I was bringing up like, oh yeah, so these places, they weren't apartments, they were kind of like dorms.
Okay.
So all I had was like a little, my parents had got me a little refrigerator.
Yeah.
I had won at my job at Strawberries a turkey that year, and a big ass 22-pound turkey. I had no kitchen, no nothing. So the Beastie Boys, I had met them at Tower Records, so I used to hang over at Adrock's house all the time. And Adrock, Adam's house. Yeah, but this is like so crazy life. That turkey we cooked for Thanksgiving at the house was Rick Rubin, Russell Simmons wearing way too much Adidas cologne, and they had reeking, and he had just signed a new band, and he played the cassette, and 98 Oldsmobile was my song.
Wow.
It was PE.
Wow.
And I was like, and it's
98
Oldsmobile.
That is sick. Holy
Oh
shit,
my
Yolanda, that's
gosh.
amazing.
it was so crazy, but you just made me think about it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like really funny. And we also forgot to take the insides out of the turkey. Nobody knew how to cook a turkey. But eventually we got them out.
That's interesting, man.
Wow.
Adidas cologne, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, I wonder how long that lasted.
I don't know. I don't know.
Sneaker cologne.
Yeah, I mean, it was strong.
It's crazy times.
Such a good time to be in New York, man. The 90s, man.
Yeah.
All the
It
hip-hop, just
was.
everything.
I think it was a really good time. I feel like it was, I hate to say it, like the last of sort of like an original time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like things just kind of got really recycled
Mm-hmm.
after that. I really liked, say, 90s R&B.
Yeah.
Like
It was actually
Guy
very
and things.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was some great music.
Remember Sheets and
blast.
Pillows and Dawn Hills and all that stuff?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It was amazing times, like all those different Phil
Yeah.
Spector, all the hip hop clubs, and
That's true. That's very true. Because Bonnie was at Two Eyes. Nels was still around.
oh yeah, Nels, right?
Mm-hmm.
So back to acting, New York Undercover.
Mm-hmm.
So once you do that, do you feel like you have your foot in the door and like you're like, I want to do this?
I feel like okay, I did that job, and
Yeah.
it's like you still don't have any idea how it works.
Yeah.
That was just
Yeah.
one job. I was still at Nana's.
Mhm.
So it was just sort of that. I didn't think I had my foot in anything, but I thought I had a good job. I got something on tape,
Yeah.
so that was good. When the store closed, that's when I said,
It's like, I have to do this.
yeah, I was like, well, why not? They gave me a good severance package. Let me figure out getting a job somewhere, because
Yeah.
I've got to find something where I could still try and do this acting.
Yeah.
And that's when I started bartending at Bubby's downtown, because it was also in the neighborhood, so I could just walk to work. It was easy breezy. And, I got the job, Stranger Inside. But at the same time, I didn't understand, like, well, okay, so now you did this. How do you make money?
Yeah.
How do you make money?
Yeah.
How do you sustain? Because, like, your bills aren't like, oh, did you get a job this month?
No.
Oh, we'll come this month and we'll wait until you get a job. Like, they're coming every month. They're coming every week or whatever. How do you manage money when you are working for yourself, but it still takes somebody else to hire you?
Yeah.
So that was, that's where I feel like a lot of, your whole spirituality and trusting and letting go and all that stuff comes into play, because it makes no sense. Like the common sense mind I don't think it has the best place in that world, you know, because you can't really just function by common sense. There's so many things that come into play that have nothing to do with you getting a job, with you paying a bill, with, you know, things coming your way. You got to trust and be able to let go of certain things. And, you know, and that's it. Because I've always felt like the more I push for like regularity and doing things a certain way, the further what I want, like it gets further away. So it's like I try to keep my mind just calm, because I know my mind can just work into a frenzy of like, I've got to get this done. I've got to da-da-da. So if I do this, if I, you know, da-da-da-da, I should go meet that person. I should get to that. But it's like you can go bananas. You know? So I try to enjoy each day, and that's an active try to take in each day.
Yeah, but back then, like not getting parts, did that weigh on you? Like you think you have it and you don't get it. Does that fuck with your mental?
I think it you know, I've noticed for me it does for a minute or so, like a little bit, and then it's gone. I feel like, you know, there's very briefly, well, there's very seldomly been things that I have seen that I really, really, really wanted and really felt right for, and then didn't get them. Those kinds of things I think stay with me a little more if that happens. I feel like I've been guided, you know, away from things that weren't right for me. I have not gotten things that, you know, you go in for everything. Yeah. But I feel like I've gotten the things I was supposed to get. And even like, say, The Shy, the year that I got this audition, I auditioned for it. It came easy because I knew this character. She made sense to me, and I didn't get it. Wow. I didn't get it. That year, another project I was up for another project that I was like, I really want this movie. I really can do this. You know, this is it. Yeah. I didn't get it. The Shy came back around, and it just automatically kind of happened. Wow. So it was like, if I would have got that movie, which didn't do anything, I wouldn't have been able to do the show, which is where I'm still at, you know? So that's one of those cases where it worked out how it was supposed to, I feel.
It's fate. Yeah, it's supposed to happen. That's crazy. You did a bunch of Law and Order too.
Yeah, I did like one of each of them. Yeah. And you know what? I actually got like called to be on Law and Order now as a cast member.
That's cast member?
I'm on the show, yeah. Wow. That would have been really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, like.
So, are there long gaps in between like auditioning and getting something? Like, it's not like every single day you're going for auditions when it first starts, right? You're not like.
No, yeah.
There's long wait periods, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a lot of waiting periods. So, you know, you just need to make sure that you're active in your own life somehow. You know, because it's not an everyday thing. And yeah.
Was Third Watch after? When did that come in? Because you got nominated for 3 different things for that.
Wait. Third Watch was the whatchamacallit show.
You got the Independent Spirit Award.
That was for actor. Stranger Inside.
Stranger Inside, okay.
Stranger Inside, I
thought it was Third Watch, my bad.
No, that's the TV show.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So still the Stranger Inside is when you get the 3 nominations?
Yeah, I got the Gotham Award and a Spirit Award nomination, and I think a Reel Award.
The Black Reel Award and Breakout Actor.
And John, oh God, what's his last name? I'm spacing. I can see his face. Gopher Sisters was the other time I got nominated.
It's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. So when given the opportunity, I smack it home.
Yeah. So when that stuff happens, does that put your name on a radar? Like, is there more eyes on you? Like, we start getting nominated for stuff like that?
Totally.
Even though it's independent, obviously, but still.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a difference. You know, I definitely do wish I'd love to be up for an Oscar. You know, those are different kinds of movies, though. Those are studio movies.
Is that a goal? Or dream?
I wouldn't say it's a goal. I just want to continue doing things that make a difference to us.
Yeah.
So that's important to me.
Yeah.
And I want to get my own projects out there that I do feel we need to see. Because, I mean, at this point, there are Black characters that I know I've written already. Black characters that I see in life that I still don't see on screen. We just don't have the different types of, versions of us out there for us to see, and also for others to see. Because, I mean, that's something that happens in this business. It's like, the gatekeepers keep letting you, they're cool with these same versions of you, but then say that they can't sell another version of you because, you're not sellable. Well, if y'all thought that we could be more than, slaves and drug dealers and this, that, and the other, that
like you said about,
then we would have a wider range that you could understand. And I feel also that then trickles down into real life where, what people see that matters. It plays into how we take in people on a daily basis.
Yeah, totally.
So if you see other versions of us, you might not be scared, or you might see that we're a lot more the same than different.
I agree with that. I think it's so
definitely. It's a very good point.
Yeah, just like you said, when you were on York Undercover, you're like, I was smoking crack, I got shot, I was pregnant, like all stereotypes and shit, like the first episode.
One episode.
Yeah, one episode.
You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be more fucking characters than that.
Please.
But you were in Whitney, which is pretty awesome. Angela Bassett.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That's a big deal. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, I thought it was a big deal too.
Angela Bassett's a badass. Angela Bassett's like,
she's amazing.
She's fucking amazing.
No, and she's gorgeous. Oh my god.
Were you nervous doing that or working with her? Were you excited? Or?
I was excited. You know what? I was excited to work with her, but I was also just very excited to be in a mini series.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you grow up with those things.
Totally.
It's like, oh yeah, the whoever's story. It's like, yeah, that person's playing that person and da 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 da. I've always been fascinated with those.
Yeah.
So to be able to be in one, I was thrilled with it. And then also to get to play Robin, because so much more is out about them and their relationship and her at this point.
Yeah.
But when we did that movie, there was nothing.
Yeah.
We couldn't find any information on her.
Wow.
There was nothing on the internet. And I had a few friends that knew her, and I knew of her in New York, because I had a lot of friends in music that had, recorded Whitney, been around her and Whitney. So it's like I knew who she was and who she was to Whitney. But in the story that we were telling, they weren't going into that. So it was, showing the love that this woman had for this woman, just love, period, that you have for someone you're close to without, going overboard or whatever. I wish that, a couple of scenes were taken out. I wish they weren't. I wish that they had been left in to kind of just sort of solidify that these two meant something to each other.
So. That was a big deal though too. I mean, Angela Bassett, I mean, she's fucking she nice, she was cool.
Totally. And she paid attention to small details. So I really appreciated that.
And you had to audition for that, obviously.
I put myself on tape and then got the job. I was literally, my mom was reading with me.
That's
like
cool.
They were in town in New York, my mom and one of my sisters, and just sat down, did the tape, got the job. And it was like boom, boom, boom. It was interesting. It was a quick process.
It's awesome. It's going to be less stressful making a tape than going in a room in front of people and auditioning, right? Or is it the same?
No, it's definitely easier doing the tape with nerves. But because I get nervous. Period. I get nervous. Still. Something about, though, doing tape, it's also like doing all these like Zoom interviews now.
Totally.
In your house, you're in your space.
And
it's sort of like, okay, I don't want you in my space. You know, I don't want to do this all the time.
Private place,
yeah, it's like I don't mind going out and going to do my thing. I understand right now that we can't.
Yeah.
But when it comes to doing tapes, it's like you're then the lighting person, the sound person, the editor. So what is it? You know, who's doing these other jobs? It's like, you know, it's a lot.
Yeah. So 24 you were on.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
That's
on
a big
24.
one too.
That was a big one. That came right after Stranger Inside. I was actually shooting it when I got the call for Antoine Fisher.
I was gonna say that,
yeah. And 24, I was supposed to be one of the first girls that Kiefer was running around with. Like that character was supposed to last a few episodes.
That's right, Kiefer Sutherland. That's right.
Yeah,
Dang.
but I guess they weren't ready to see Kiefer with a little black girl. So they just cut, you know, other episodes and just.
Was he cool to work with?
Very cool, very sweet, very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Antoine Fisher, that's like that's a big deal.
Yeah, that was a big deal. That was Denzel's directorial debut. Wow, so like he and Whitney, and you know what, I gotta say, I feel actors are some of the best directors. I really do.
I do
because you know, it's like we understand how to talk to each other, and we understand how we get to emotion. Because sometimes directors can just be like, you know, so do this, do that, and, you know, and cry over here. And it's just like, the emotion doesn't work like that. Like, you know, you don't do emotional acrobatics unless you're on something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, we got to get there somehow, you know? And if you haven't written it.
Right.
I'm making a face over here, people. If it's not written right, and we have to somehow get to this thing that you want, that takes some acting. That takes some skill. Yeah. So, you know, it's my hats are off to actors that are directors. Yeah. Because I feel we pay attention to all the details because we understand how we feel. Yeah. You know, on the other side of the camera, and we also, you know, not every actor wants to be a director, but those of us that do, I feel we pay attention to what is happening around us. So
I think it's almost the same thing as like people that write songs for other artists to sing. Like,
I was going to say in the music world, there's a similarity, especially with producers who are musicians, and then it's much easier to relay, like, man, you need to do this part like this, and then they can do it, you know, and demonstrate to you, and they know what they're talking about. The language is very connected.
You know what, that's very, and I didn't even, that's true. I didn't think of it in that way, but very true. You know, instead of people just wanting a thing and not understanding how you get to that thing. So.
Yeah, just selling a scene or selling a song. Like, let's say Katy Perry Fireworks. She didn't write that song, but she killed it performing it, and she made you believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing with actors. Like reading somebody else's lines or doing something that you didn't write, because it's coming from you directly. You can really live it and experience it. You know what I mean? No, it's interesting. Yeah,
that communication is really important, you know, especially being able to explain, you know, like, I don't like that part, and it's like, why don't you like it? And then when you have a producer or somebody that can tell you, like, because it's taking away from this, or you know, it would be much better, you know, that explanation can go, you know, very far.
Well, and you know, another funny thing is I've talked to some just strictly writers, and that's an interesting thing too, because like, from their point of view, they know technical things as far as writing. They know why they want to get to this place and to that place, but then they don't sometimes take in consideration a human being has to do this. Right. It's not just like what's on the page. It's like you've got live people, you know, making these things happen, and they might look good on page, but they don't read real. You know, in life. So
that's a good point. Yeah. After Antoine Fisher, what was that? What was after that? I mean, I remember Mind the Gap. That was an escape movie, was it?
No.
I remember hearing that name. Like,
no, you know, it was like a Showtime thing.
It was
Mind
Showtime,
the Gap,
right?
Yeah, it was a little odd movie.
United States of Leland.
Yep.
Short Bus, Garden of Eden, Choke, New Amsterdam, Slippery Slope, The Unit.
The Unit. Oh, The Unit was the first time I got to work with David Mamet. I had actually years before that auditioned for him. I went into audition for him. And I was like, oh man, I'm meeting David Mamet. I'm all ready. And he just had a conversation with me. There was no audition. That was the first time I had ever done that.
That's kind of cool.
Who's David Mamet? I'm sorry.
Huge playwright.
Okay.
Just
Good question,
writer,
Derek.
period. Yeah. I mean, Glenn Ross.
Oh, wow.
You know,
That's great.
Yeah, he's amazing,
Wow.
and he's written things that under different names, I believe. He also did Hoffa, which was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, yeah, the movie that
yeah.
DeVito directed.
Yeah.
I loved that movie. And I didn't know he did it at the time, but he did this show called The Unit. But wait, I was talking about when I met him.
Yeah.
So he had a film that I auditioned for, talked with him about, and he was my choice. I was his choice for this one part, and producers, the people that put the money in, they didn't want to kill 2 black people in the movie.
Wow.
So they got rid of the black woman, myself, made her a Latina, and that was that. So,
Wow.
I didn't get to work with him on that, but he sent me a handwritten note, saying how much he loved my character and whatever, my work, loved what I do, because he had looked into my work, and I'm just like, this man wrote me with his hands.
That's almost cooler than getting the part, to be honest.
No, it really is, because it also cemented a friendship.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Whereas The Unit, that was for me to do. And then later on in the Phil Spector movie, he wrote this part in for me. So it was like,
that's great.
Really
good to hear.
that. And he told me Race, the play he had on Broadway, he wanted me in there. But then again, it's one of those things where the producers did not.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a funny thing, because it's like, the creatives like you, but then the business people don't see value in you.
Frustrating, I would think.
Frustrating, understatement. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because somebody else is always bigger. Somebody's name is always worth more. And it's a funny thing, because it makes me look at these people as if, well, I guess you don't value what you do, because we all know how the system works. If you throw money at something, it's automatically going to be, at another level.
Totally.
Because part of the biggest problem any, small production, indie, anything has, is that people don't know of it. And that's publicity. So if you can pay for that, then it's automatically going to happen, because the talent's already there.
So
Totally.
true. Yeah.
But they don't look at it that way. I mean, that's what studios used to do.
Right.
They take people out of nowhere and suddenly make them stars.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
Totally true.
Yeah.
Phil Spector thing was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. Helen Mirren, Al Pacino killed it.
Yeah, it was incredible, actually. I mean, I didn't know you were going to be there. I saw you and I told, oh my God, I remember that.
No, me too. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. That's a big one, man.
Totally fun. I've had some really great projects. I got to work with a lot of really great people. And, luckily, I'm pulling from all these different groups of people that I know to get cast and crew for my own films.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm happy to be in this place.
Yeah, it sounds like the same thing in the music community, like doing things together and working with each other in different songs and starting super groups together and everybody working together, help each other out and have all the connections and the friendships. Same thing in the music industry, I think.
Definitely.
What about Split? Were you in Split?
Yeah. I don't think I ever saw it.
Isn't Split the crazy movie? I fucking love Split. Wait a second. Because I did some research on it a couple of days ago and I saw that. Me and Max love that. That's what that guy, he has different personalities and shit. Split.
So there's stuff that you've done you've just never seen?
Do you remember being in Split?
But I've never seen it.
Wow, man.
I've never seen it.
I haven't
You know what I'm
seen
talking
it.
about,
I
right?
need
What's
to
the guy's
check it
name? The
out.
English guy, the actor.
No, there's no English guy. What Split are you talking about? Maybe it's a
Toby.
different split.
There's a couple splits.
Really?
Yeah, because this one is a bunch of women and like a girl and a guy, like kind of couple thing.
I thought
But
it was a different split.
what's your split?
They got the split personalities.
Not a guy.
Because I saw it yesterday. I said, oh my God, she's split. I remember seeing her split.
Wow.
Yeah, no. I don't think either one of us has seen my split. I'm just saying.
How to Get Away with Murder?
Oh, so much fun. Yeah, I love Viola. I got to. She's amazing, man. She this was after Whitney. Actually, I was shooting Whitney when it came about to do her movie, Lila and Eve. So I got to do that with her down in Atlanta. And after that, then, this character came up for her show.
Yeah.
And that character was in like a couple seasons because she came back again. Like after, I got the Shy, I was still able to do the show. And it was, so cool because like one of the scenes that I got to do with her, Cicely Tyson was there. And like right now I'm here because I was doing this documentary, taking part in a documentary where we were talking about Cicely Tyson and other Black women actresses in our in entertainment. And it's it's just crazy because like you're sitting there and it's like, yo, Miss Jane Pittman is sitting over there, so it's like, wow, because Cicely Tyson was one of those women when growing up that I saw myself in as a brown-skinned girl. She wasn't a Diane Carroll or Alina Horn or, any of these other kinds of women. She was herself. And I really like took to the characters that she did and how she held herself. And, and I always felt like as a child, even watching her, if white people like her, and she's doing these parts that aren't these pretty or sassy women or da-da-da, they're real people. Yeah. She speaks with dignity and elegance. There's something there that's what I want to be like. So, that was huge.
Big inspiration, yeah.
Yeah, it was huge inspiration. And so, it was great being able to work with Viola and not punch her in the face, during my episode. Because it's like, you're sitting there, it's like, whoa, this is Viola. And the way y'all want me to punch at... Okay, do not mess this up because, you're sitting there hitting this pillow because we're fighting in these scenes. And I'm like, oh, gosh, don't screw up, yo. Don't screw up. Don't screw up.
What about the Get Down?
Oh, my gosh. My absolute favorite.
That's your favorite?
Wow.
Can you imagine being transported back in time? And Baz is going to do it right because he's Baz Luhrmann. So wardrobe, hair, everything. It's just like, it was like being in a TV show during that time. Yeah. And that's something like, I can never do. I can watch Good Times, but I can't walk on the Good Times set and be, Thelma or something like that. It's like, getting to be in that world and bring these characters and stuff to life. And I just really appreciated the show and that opportunity. I wish it would have gone on for a long, long time. I personally, I don't feel Baz is cut out for TV, because, he got his hands in everything. So, it's going to be done right. Yeah. But, TV, you really have to delegate because there's so many people. You can't do everything. And time and money are an ongoing thing. And keeping that, keeping budget, keeping time, it all matters.
Yeah. Where'd you guys film that?
In the Bronx.
Wow, that's awesome.
We did it in the Bronx. I had never been to the Bronx. What? That's the one borough.
And living in New York, you never went there? That's
and no reason to. If I'm not going above 23rd Street, how am I getting to the Bronx? So,
True.
Another world.
That's interesting. You get to go to the Bronx. That's crazy, man. I've been there.
Yeah, I'd never been there
before.
And
then film there.
So it's it was interesting. I love the world. I wish, like I said, I wish it would have gone on. I hope that we make a movie because I would really like to see where Miss Green ends up. I mean, it just made me feel like Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I want to I want to feel all of that.
Yeah. Did the Chai come after that, or was it OG?
OG was just like a quick thing.
Yeah.
The Shy was totally after that. Yeah, it was after that.
So the Chai's been like it's the biggest and longest thing you've been part of?
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever been a cast member.
Yeah.
There was another show that I was a part of to be a cast member, but the show didn't, we did the pilot or whatever, and it didn't make it. But it was supposed to be a spinoff of the L Word. And that was years ago, called The Farm, but it didn't make it. So yeah, The Shy is the first series regular that I've been.
And would it be another season, you think?
Yeah, we just because of COVID. Yeah, I don't think we're going to start until next year.
Next year?
I think. Man.
I mean, the cast, like I talk to you all the time. I text you about it.
I love it.
Incredible. Your role is incredible. It's perfect. Like.
Yeah, and the last season was my favorite.
It was insane.
Mine too.
With Keisha and all that. And oh my God. But people listening, we'll talk about The Chai. It's an incredible show on Showtime. 3 seasons, correct?
Yeah, 3 seasons done. We just, I guess finished airing in July or August of this year.
I feel like I grew up with those kids watching it now.
Yeah, because if you look at the first season, they were little.
They were very little. Yeah.
I love Papa so much. Like, oh my God, man. Just all the characters. His girlfriend. Oh my God.
I know. Yeah.
I love it. And then Brandon was on, obviously the guy who played Eazy's in the first season. He's not there no more, but I loved his character. I loved his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. What's her name? His girlfriend.
Her real
was
name
on
the show?
Brandon's girlfriend's name on the show. I forgot her name. He was always trying to hustle and make things happen. And she had like a real job, and she was like,
yeah, what? Jerica.
Okay, yeah.
Jerica. Yeah.
It's just like that balance of like him trying to get his shit together, and she was like on point with her life and politics.
Yeah. This
and just
is
everything.
real.
Yeah. It was so good. And even just the last, I don't want to give things away, but just like, Emmett's relationship with you is awesome. And then, he was hustling sneakers, just all this shit, man. And, I do. I love this relationship with Keisha. I love when they were together. It was so cute.
I love them a lot.
And then when they got back, like when she went through what she went through and he came with her and they connected again, like that bond and shit. Like
that was the one time I felt you could breathe in that episode was when they were together.
Yeah, it was heavy shit, man.
It was a heavy one. It was such a good, I think it was episode 8. I think that was probably my favorite one this last season.
Yeah, and I don't know I didn't write the guy's name. I forgot the main dude who like the old guy with the beard. He's kind of homeless. And
Inside.
What?
Well, Ronnie.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah,
man.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Like you're like, come on, man, get your shit together.
I know. You're really rooting for Ronnie.
Rooting for him,
but he's such a believable character because I like how he's ups and downs.
Yeah.
And that's life. That's how
really
people really are.
And I feel like the takeout is real too.
Yeah.
It really is, man.
Oh yeah. So I was like, are you kidding?
I know.
I knew something was coming. I was like, oh, Ronnie, man.
But that's how, I don't know. I feel like life is that way. It's like when you watch those behind the musics, it's like, when he got off of drugs and da-da-da, and then the plane crashed. It's just like...
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like how many times?
Yeah. It's true.
But it's...
And then Jake,
weird.
like, struggling, like, to let dad's brother adopt him, I guess.
Yeah, that's
And then he has...
Duda.
Yeah, man.
That's a messy...
Wow.
Yeah, I can't even... Hey, I don't know where that's going.
And then what's his face? What's the drug lord's name? He's like running for fucking mayor.
Yeah, Duda.
Dude, he's such a great character.
I love him.
He's super handsome, but he's
I have a question. Evil. So what happened to that character that was like really sinister from the second season? And
is it him?
No, but there was a different person playing him, maybe.
No, wait. What was the character's name?
The character was he was like an older guy, and he's been on a lot of different TV series.
Well, what did he do on our show? Like
he was like a.
Was he in jail?
No, he was out of jail, and he was minding the buildings, and he was.
Yeah, he was.
Buying
He was coming
buildings.
around.
He was buying.
Oh, Q.
Cute. Yeah, what happened to?
He was coming around checking on things, trying to run shit again.
Yeah. Well, they said like in
Everybody's got to watch it, child. You know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's okay.
I said that he had been handled because he had stepped out of line by killing a cop, so he got dealt with.
Okay.
So I'm assuming he's dead.
Right.
My assumption for Q.
Right.
But I love the friendship with Papa. With
I love watching all those boys.
Yeah,
I love that, man.
Fantastic.
They are
what's
funny.
the other kid's name? Kevin Williams or Alex, whatever. Kevin.
Oh my gosh,
I love him, dude. And he looks just like his sister. The Cassavetes.
Oh my God!
Perfect.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Everything
That
faces,
is bananas.
Yeah.
Amazing casting with those two.
Yeah.
No relation. How do they look alike?
It's
How
crazy.
do they have the same mouths?
Yeah, it's
How
so
are they the
believable.
same?
It's perfect. So those kids are all cool, and you pretty much
Yeah.
watch them grow up. And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I love being around all of them. I feel like we are like an extended family. 'Cause
Yeah,
I mean,
of
like
course.
right now, I'm staying at the guy's house who plays Gemma's dad on the show.
Oh,
Okay.
no way.
Yeah.
okay,
So,
Wow.
is it something Saint Jock? Saint something.
and what's it like shooting in Chicago?
I had never been to Chicago before,
Wow.
except for the airport.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean,
cold as
we
fuck. That's beyond cold.
That's an understatement.
Man, yeah, I found out what the Windy City was about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that wind hurts.
It does.
When it's cold, it hurts.
I know it very well.
Yeah,
Burns
no.
your face, man.
Yeah,
yeah.
but
My
it
wife's
can
from there. I
push
go
you
there.
across the street into
Yeah.
traffic.
Wind chill factor is scary. That's what's
Yeah, it's
kills people.
it's bad because like Nebraska's cold, but we don't have that wind.
Yeah.
And
It's
so,
off the lake.
but the lake is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
When I landed there, I was like, "What is that?" The water was beautiful. I'd
Yeah.
never seen water like that, and it looked like the ocean because
Yeah.
it's huge.
Yeah, it's massive.
This,
Lake
damn,
Erie
Great
is right
Lake-
off of
Great
Cleveland, so
Lakes.
I know. Great Lakes. Yep.
And
Great
those
Lakes.
areas, like all legit areas you're filming in. You're
Yeah.
filming like real neighborhoods and all that stuff.
A lot. Yeah, we are in the streets a lot,
Yeah.
and more of it was West Side than South Side.
Okay.
There's probably lots of
which
love
we
out
hear.
there.
We
of
do,
love
we
film,
do,
yeah.
and that's and it's funny because it's grown. So it's people used to like be like Treasure, and now they know Jada,
Right.
So it's cool. It's very
Wow.
cool to like hear that, and people, for the most part, from what I've run into, people love being repped by the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Having the
right.
city, being repped in that way.
And you're on Showtime, so it's not like you're like a cast member. Now you're like on Showtime, which is like next level too. It's a different world. It's like you went to a major label.
Billboards.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Major
You went to a
label.
major label.
Major
independent.
labels. You got
Yeah.
billboards up. And
Yeah.
Crazy,
Yo, it's crazy. I'm like,
crazy
yo.
billboards.
How-
Massive.
How are your parents like now, like following your journey and seeing where you're at now? They must be so proud and so excited for you.
Yeah. No, they're totally proud. It's like, we got a poster up in the garage.
Cool.
What is the like second season poster. It's so funny though because like most people that actually know me, there was no inclination of it. So, and there was none to me either that I was going to act. So it's just sort of like, oh, okay. Oh, you're on what? Oh, okay. Because like, I don't talk about work. I don't talk about like when I first, started auditioning and getting stuff, I would talk about things a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like, you don't want your parents being worried about how you make money. You don't want them worrying about, can you pay rent? Can you do this? Can you do that? Because they want the best for you.
Totally.
But in this business, it's like nobody can actually really help you, unless you are a producer, or
Yeah.
something like that. So I don't talk about work until I have something. It's like, so watch this.
Yeah.
I have this coming on. I'm getting ready to go do this. So
That's
it'll
cool.
be out. Yeah, that's.
But
all I do.
you're like one you left. You're the youngest, and you left at 17. Went to New York to follow your dreams. Obviously, with meet Daryl and all that amazing stuff.
Yeah,
But
and they
now
don't know about that.
Okay.
So,
I doubt they were listening. They were
Okay,
listening.
right.
But now you're on Showtime on a freaking amazing show. It's like your
Yeah.
journey's incredible, man.
No, it's yeah. It's
And you
incredible.
busted your ass, man. You worked really hard, man.
Yeah. I did. I mean, I think we all do. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like you do what feels right, but it's like you're trying to accomplish something or get something going. There's no game plan. Yeah. But you do everything you can to get to
Same
where
with
you
music
think.
too.
Yeah.
You start playing because you love playing with your friends and you want to play some shows, and then make a T-shirt, make a sticker, and then do a tour, and then boom, make a record, and then like, oh fuck, it's 25 years later.
But literally,
you know what I'm saying? Like, but you're nonstop. You have your tunnel vision. You just want to do it. You see what you want to do, and you're just going to do it no matter what. And you can't count on anybody. Sometimes just yourself, or you know what I mean? Like, it's hard, man.
It's true. Like, you really can't count on other people. I mean, that's what I feel. That's part of the reason I feel so kind of self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny. Like I was talking about traveling. You know, just coming here for this documentary. I wasn't sure where I was staying, what I was going to be doing, but literally, when I pack, I'm packing for any kind of thing that could possibly happen. You know, anything. Yeah. You know, so I'm carrying so much shit. It has nothing to do with my daily world. You know, I might use a cup of that or something. You know, it's just like I have everything and I'm ready.
Yeah. Did you ever feel like quitting?
That's not an option. No. I mean, and that's funny because it's funny you ask that because I don't know how or where that would ever even come up. Mm-hmm.
Like so frustrated with this industry and like.
Yeah, but no, because it's going to be frustrating, and this is what I am, and this is what I do. Yeah. This is what I was put here for, and I feel like knowing that, or at least feeling that, you know, now that I've gotten Daryl Hall out the way, and he got me here, it's like...
Thank you, Daryl.
You know, thank you, Daryl.
Man.
He's a big subscriber. Thank you, Daryl.
It's just like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. So there is no... do something else.
I love that. You were focused to make it happen and it happened. You know what I mean? You set your mind to it. That's what a PMA is. What the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. That's the whole thing about like believing in yourself. It's and real. Just on that mission. You know what I mean?
It's real. And that's why I work constantly at keeping this clear, keeping the mind clear, because it's like I know I can make things happen. And the mind is strong, you know. Totally. You get something in your head and the mind can make it happen in a way that it might not be best for you, but it will make what you're thinking about come through. I agree. So it's like I try and keep the thoughts pure, things like cool. Anything negative, I need it away from me.
I love that.
Yeah, I do, because it's like I can't. I'm not trying to age, first off.
You look great. So, you look great.
Thank you, but I'm trying to keep any kind of stress away from this face.
You look great for 30.
But thank you. I'll take 32, but but you know, but like seriously, it just it does nothing good for you.
So that's one of my questions: are you an optimist or pessimist? But I know the answer to that.
Yeah, I'm an optimist.
Yeah,
I'm also a realist.
That's what my wife calls herself. My wife says she's a realist too. She's not.
Yeah, because you know, there's definitely certain situations where it might not sound so positive, but it's like being real.
Totally.
Know, so.
Yeah. You have any?
Moon is smart.
You have any regrets?
No. Mm-mm.
Damn, I love that.
That was quick.
Yeah, it was really quick.
Yeah, no.
Some people got to think about it and then they try to break it down, but.
No. I mean, I feel like even if something ever did seem one way, there's something that you've gotten out of it. You needed to go through something. You got something out of a situation.
Yeah, I love that.
There's always something there. Mm-hmm. So.
I had a question about remembering lines. I know that with singing, and I don't know about you, Toby, but for me, like lyrically, sometimes it's like difficult to remember.
I need a teleprompter.
Lyrics.
That you've even written.
Even if you wrote them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, wow, okay, what was that again? And then immediately, you know, but I always had a problem with this when I'm overthinking it, so it just comes naturally. If I don't think about it,
True.
then it just kind of rolls smoothly. But I was wondering if it was the same for you, like have lines and remembering that, because I was like, man, acting, I would love that, but I think I would forget lines like all the time.
It's funny because
can you improvise also? That's another question.
That depends on the director.
Okay.
Yeah, the improvising. And I'll just say this about theater. improvising is a no-no. Cause, because it's like I did that one time in an audition for a theater person, and it was like, and it wasn't that I wanted to improvise. It's just that I got off book and like lost where I was and didn't want to stand there trying to find my place. And so I knew what was happening and I was trying to jump back into it, but she didn't take too kindly to it. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, well, wow, bitch, maybe you should try auditioning and see how easy that is. Right. It's like, I'm sorry. Right. I did not mean to get off book, but damn it, I did. I love the part. I love the piece, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But as far as like, like actually going through a whole script and like say it's a movie and you're in it 90% of the time. Okay. I think it's like I learned the whole thing, like all my scenes, and then go back and kind of, narrow them down into scenes, because if you start thinking about what's happening in the scene and you're breaking things down, there's a flow of what's happening. Mm-hmm. So if it makes sense at all, it helps with dialogue, understanding what's happening, who this person is and what they're saying.
Okay.
I do work on stuff hard at first, and then it is like you said, it's almost like I gotta let it go.
Right.
Then I'll, go over it before that day of the scene or whatever, but then gotta let it go because it will come. Like I get my nerves right before, totally we get ready to roll. I go and cool down. I walk around. I get the stuff like I want to hit this. I want to da-da-da-da. And then you're there with the person and it's action and it just, you got to let it go.
Right.
And when it's like right and it's something big, that shit feels like free falling. Wow. Like, it feels like you're flying.
Right.
You just like jumped. Mm-hmm. And it's incredible. Wow. It's incredible how it feels.
Goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah, but I mean, Stranger Inside, there was a scene. It's a scene when she opens up to her mother and lets her know, to Brownie, and lets her know who she is. And that, it felt like that. It felt like I just jumped. And it was incredible.
It's very therapeutic sometimes too, huh?
It really
living
is.
Vicariously through other characters, and maybe you can relate to some of the things that they've been through that you have been through.
Mm-hmm. Sure, or things that you've wondered about, and because it's like you're literally learning.
Yeah.
Because, I feel like Yolanda takes a back seat, and this is just a vessel. Mm-hmm. These characters come through, and it's amazing how they feel sometimes. Yeah. And just, it's like I've never been in jail or separated from my mom, and my mom, it's like all these emotions.
Or smoke crack.
Yeah. Or smoke crack, or been pregnant or shot, just any of these things. But you're learning, you're feeling things when you're doing them. Yeah. So it's amazing.
How long in advance do you get, like, say for the child, like, hey, we're starting season 3. Is your first episode to get, like, how in advance do you get those lines?
The scripts?
To learn.
Well, the first, episode of like a season, we usually get them kind of early because we got to do table reads in front of network before we even get started.
Damn.
So, we might have like the first 2 for like a month or something like that. Okay. But then as the show is going, we'll probably get them like a week or maybe week to 9 days.
When you say table reads in front of them, is that Zoom or is that real life?
No. Everything's like, for the first episode, like everybody's there.
They're there.
So we were all in
Chicago?
person. Yeah.
Wow.
Like everybody would fly in. And like you got a whole full room of people that you're then reading for, and that's even that's crazy and nerve wracking because it's like especially when we first did it, because we never having been in that position before, you hear like, well, people can still get cut, and it's like, well, I thought I had the job. It's like, wait, you could cut me off of this read.
So you have to be acting during.
You're totally you're totally
you're in character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like anytime Yeah, you are in character.
Well, you're sitting there at the table.
Yeah, it's just like a line of us.
You're not like, you can't physically, okay.
No, we're just like sitting but, acting as character and sometimes talking to each other. But, it's like a table full of us with microphones and cards with our names and stuff. And then all these people out there that you don't ever see any other time.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating.
Such a different world, man.
Yeah. I mean, still always learning because it's like I've never been through everything. So
yeah, but do you feel being in the series, it's like such a different level of where you've been in your life as far as like not professionalism, but like
I
don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely
not structure, but something that's like I don't know. You're in another season, so it's like you're stuck to this one thing, kind of, right? Like you go do other things right now.
Sort of. I can't go
like
be a cast member.
Good
I
question.
can't go be a cast member on New York Undercover. I mean,
I see.
Law and Order.
Law and Order.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
never been fun.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it's almost like
you can do short. You can do movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But we're still in a funny time. I can do episodes of things.
Okay.
Like single episodes.
So in music, it's like my brother when he was in the Offspring before he was a member, he was on retainer. So he had to ask permission to go play a show with H2O because he's on retainer.
Yeah.
He's on retainer,
He's getting paid by them.
Right.
So
that
he's
totally
on their
makes
call
sense.
24/7. So
Yep. Yeah, same thing. Same thing.
Okay.
Same thing.
Get down to like a day before, like, can you do it till? He's like, oh, we have
It makes
practice
sense
tomorrow.
because that production could be like, we're starting up now, we need you.
Yeah.
And then you're off doing something else then.
Yeah, and it, that's all got to be cleared.
Right.
Because like when we started the Shy, I was still like the Get Down was still a thing.
Yeah.
And we didn't know if that was coming back or not, but it wasn't, so that didn't overlap. But then How to Get Away with Murder did, so it's like then the producers got to work out those days that I mean literally because Jada wears long braids and on How to Get Away with Murder I was in prison with just my hair.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
They had to take those braids out, put them back in, me go back to set. It was like a boom, boom, boom.
That takes a long time.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
It was bananas. And it's like crazy how, and I don't know if it's gotten any better, but like finding braiders, it's like, oh my gosh.
Wow. I don't think about shit like this, man.
Yeah, like literally, I was like, well, can't I just sort of, it's like a year or so later. Can't she look a little different in prison? Or can I do this with the hair?
Like, no.
We got to take them all out.
Have you ever give you 2 cents on something like that and they said sure? Or they always stick by the
I'm
script?
always trying to give 2 cents.
But do they always stick by the script? Like, I don't feel comfortable with saying this doesn't make sense to me. Well, sorry, it's your character. It's not really.
Yeah, well, you know what? On our show, there definitely, things like that can come up.
Right.
And sometimes, it could be that kind of thing, or it could also just be where words can be put a certain way and you can't get them out. You just cannot deliver them, like your mouth won't allow you to. So, I ask if I can move things around because I don't ever take people's words and just start butchering them or messing with them. I always ask, and I feel, every actor should ask it. But if, something is not working.
Working.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So when you do the table reading, are people putting, hey, this isn't sound right? Are you changing things at the table reading?
No. It's like when we do those table reads, we go through it. Everybody's listening and people are taking notes. So afterwards, you
get changes after maybe.
Yeah, like they, network might have something to say. The writer themselves hears that something's not maybe working. We ask questions and maybe have something to say. Can we, change this? So that then, and that's what these table reads are for, is to hear all these things. And then, the writer can then make changes and then new sets of sides will come out, rewrites.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
It's intense.
There's a lot. But it's a machine.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, the network, they have complete say or they have like a pretty strong say. Like if the writer's there and he's like, no, this is my shit. You're not going to change
I don't know how,
because I feel like
because somebody's paying the bills and it's not the writer.
Right.
So,
I know. I was going to say that. Are they just like, okay, the network, like they come in like, wait a minute. this guy, should have something, a different element. And the writer's just like, no, absolutely
Well, you know
not.
what? But before it ever gets to us, network has already gone over those scripts.
Of course, yeah.
So this is more like just to hear. So, there's so many levels of it.
Yeah.
The actor is the low man on the totem pole.
I see, yeah.
Was there ever a moment where you're like, oh my God, I'm on like a hit show, like we're getting picked up again? Or is it at end of every season, it's like not sure if you're going to get picked up again? Like, do you ever feel secure that you have
never
a longevity?
Okay.
No.
Like this is going for a couple seasons. You never know that. It's just
No.
season by season.
Yeah. Season
Wow.
by
So you're
season.
never secure of like, oh my God, this is like.
I don't feel like actors ever feel secure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if something is supposed to be, until it actually is, even right now, we're supposed to have another season, but we're not starting yet. So I can't be secure that we are.
So you like now you don't even know. You don't even know.
It's got to be.
But you can't do anything else. Like, so like now you're kind of like in this.
A limbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a
And
limbo.
You can't do Law and Order because you're with this, but you're not sure if this is going to go again. So it's kind of like this waiting game.
There's got to be another season. Come on.
Yeah, it's got
What?
to be.
No,
This
they're
is too
supposed
good.
to be.
Yeah,
but we just don't have a start date.
Oh, man.
So
Was there any moment during the trial like this is a success, like this is exciting, like this is like you were excited, like this is going?
like completely excited.
Because in my eyes, it's a big show because I love
Yeah,
it so much. I
yeah,
watch it.
me too.
Well, it is
And it's
so
on
funny,
Showtime,
but
it's just-
it is, and it's everything that you're saying. It's another job. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like to the actor, because it's like, yeah, I got this, but I know I still got to keep getting them because
Right.
I can't just count on this one thing.
This is part of your resume, part of your career.
Yeah,
part of-
and it's like I gotta keep making sure that I get other jobs, and I gotta make sure that people don't just see me as Jada.
Right.
That I'm not Jada. I do a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
But you
So-
can't do any of that till you know if this is going or stopping. Correct?
Well, no. I mean, I can do movies.
Okay, cool.
I can do limited series. I can do things that are not. I can't be cast members of other
Established-
yeah,
yeah.
of other shows.
Yeah.
So because that, I mean, it just wouldn't work anyway. But
Yeah.
contractually, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
You have any daily rituals?
daily,
Yeah,
I write down what I'm thankful for.
love that.
I also go through my Pablo Neruda 100 Love Sonnets, and I don't know if you see them. I post them. I was doing it daily, but I'll do it like every other day. I haven't done any in the last week, but I like going through that book and posting one. And and I also have these cards from this reader that I know in New Orleans, like a psychic reader, and I go through them and pull 3 cards.
It's awesome.
And see just where I'm at.
I learned a lot about you. Very spiritual.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I can guess right now. And all my guests always say they are. When Derek's not, you don't seem like you don't seem like a coffee person. You seem like a tea person. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, wait, I got tea here.
Maybe I read you wrong.
I like coffee and tea.
Okay.
And you know what?
Because that's always a ritual. People, coffee
but I
every
didn't
day.
use. I guess I do. I do actually both. And I drink coffee because it keeps me warm. It's not really an energy thing or a wake up thing. Like, since I'm a diabetic, I don't drink hot chocolate, really.
I remember you're diabetic. You used to be shooting yourself for the fucking
Yeah.
work.
Wow.
Oh, that's right, man.
Okay.
That's right. Yolanda's shooting up. No, she's got diabetes. Because I never met anybody with diabetes before. That's facts. I just moved. I was young. I didn't know anybody who had diabetes.
well, it's
I've never
true.
seen that before.
Yeah, it's...
I was in
yeah.
the big city. My boss is shooting fucking things. And it's like, yeah,
Oh
it's
my God.
diabetes. That's reality, Yolanda.
Yeah, it's reality.
Wow.
But you don't seem like a coffee. Maybe I guess I pegged you wrong.
No, I like both. I like both.
But it's
You
a
know,
daily thing, right? Coffee.
Yeah, I
Okay.
do. I have like a cup in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's... I don't know. Yeah, I do. I like it with cinnamon and cayenne pepper.
All right.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
just
the
like a little
cayenne.
kick.
You're not a coffee person either, Derek, right?
Not at all.
You never were?
I wasn't when I came to Brazil, but then it was like making my heart like beat irregularly.
On your
Wow.
body.
So
Really?
strong.
Yeah.
You know, it was really addictive, just a little bit. It's very strong there. But
Jittery and anxiety vibes.
it
Yeah, I
started
hate
to
that.
kick in, and then I started developing anxiety from it.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, my brain is already like nonstop, so coffee wasn't helping.
Me too. I haven't had coffee since June right now. Really feels good, man.
Wow. See, like for me, I'm like, it's interesting to hear people talk that are more kind of
We're hyper anyway. More like
like
you're chill.
Yo, my shit is like all down here. It's
so
like that
chill,
all the time, and it's like it takes. When I think about getting up, it's like starting up an 18 wheeler. It's just like
You're not a morning person.
It's like you got to start the engine up. You got to like, do this, do that to it, and then push on the gas, and then it's still let it run for a little bit. Let it run for a little bit. Oh, it's starting to move.
So you're a terrible morning person. You're telling me.
No, I'm up in the morning. I am up, but it's just something about being super excited, like energy wise. That's a whole other something else. But I just kind of float through life.
I like that though.
Yeah, I like it too.
It's worked very well for you.
Yeah, I think so. I think it just I just take in everything and kind of just float through life, and it's good.
Do you have any like inspirations, like top 5 inspirations or music or anything? Or people, or actors, or writers, or
Gosh, what's yours? Because I need an
it's all different. It could be music. It could be
but
anything.
inspiration.
I do like genre music. I could do punk, hip hop, everything. But is like anything, any particular person or something that inspires you?
Inspires me. Oh my God.
We gotta say Daryl though.
Yeah.
You have to say Daryl, man, in the top 5.
The top 5 inspirational
Okay,
people.
yeah. I mean, yeah, he was an inspiration, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
definitely.
Top 5
This is Daryl Hall, ladies and gentlemen. Daryl Hall and John Notes.
Daryl Hall.
Wait for me,
Legend.
please.
Hall and
There we
Notes. We're
go.
talking about Daryl.
God, love him.
Big fan of the podcast.
Big
We love you,
fan.
Daryl. Appreciate the support.
Big fan.
Collab coming. H2O, Daryl, and Sepultura.
Yeah, no, right?
Would be sick.
H2O, they had an album.
I know.
And I think about that every
That's
time,
right.
like,
Hall and Notes.
yeah.
I'm coming after you, Daryl, for taking my name. Just kidding. We should do a collab, Daryl, if you're listening, though, for sure. Do a
We
song.
always play the
song called
after
Yolanda.
After our set,
Which one?
we play You're Making My Dreams
Come
Come
true.
True. Everyone starts singing. I'm like, yeah,
Well,
little kids
you.
dancing in the pit. Like, oh yeah, I feel
That
good
little
now.
snappy.
I'm like, snapping.
Well, wait. So wait. What's your favorite 70s Hall & Oates song?
When did Rich Girl come out?
That was a 70s
You're a
one.
rich girl, but
I
you're
love
not too
her.
far. Cause you don't matter
anyway.
You can rely on the old man's money.
You can rely on the old man's money.
Me and
Bitch,
Daryl,
girl.
we should do a collab with Daryl, a song called Yolanda. It'd be
Ooh.
amazing.
Oh.
So Daryl's in your top 5.
Yeah.
What about singers besides Daryl? How about women singers? No,
Etta James.
sick. She's great.
Natalie
My wife loves
Cole.
her.
Oh yeah.
Natalie Cole.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was so sad when both of them passed away. Yeah, Aretha Franklin.
What about punk rock bands?
Okay.
Those are
H2O.
What about hip hop?
But wait. No,
Wait,
no.
come
Let
on,
me
man.
let me
You're all
go
over
back.
the place,
Okay.
man.
Let me
Come
see.
on.
Now I did like Iggy Pop.
Sick.
Okay.
Yeah, like
My old neighbor.
East Side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he lived on my floor.
You lived. I didn't know you lived there because like I had
Yeah.
a friend that used to stalk him hard.
So
She
they would
was
And her
suck
name
up
was
across
Yolanda.
the door, across from Tompkins Square Park.
Yep. She
Wow.
was always over there. She
Dang.
was so
Maybe I
into
started
him.
stalking.
Yeah, it's like wow.
Did you meet her in front of Daryl's apartment?
Shut
I was
up.
kidding.
He was upstate already.
Oh,
Remember?
that's right. Iggy Pop's dope.
Iggy Pop. Who else? Who else is? I like Chrissy Hind,
Sick.
Yeah.
Great.
Debbie Harry.
Great.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh,
Classics.
She was at
Classics.
the Get Down premiere, and I was just like,
Really?
That's cool.
That's
yeah,
awesome. Oh,
I
of course
was-
she would. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, wow. I so wanted to
she's
say
pretty
something
intense.
to her, but we were in the bathroom, so I didn't say anything. I didn't want to be weird.
I felt the same way. I saw her. I was just like,
Good Harry.
yeah. she's-
Legend, man.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that. Who else? Like other types of music?
Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah.
Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder.
Great.
Oh my gosh. You know who I always wanted to meet that I just felt I was going to, but he passed away, was Freddie Mercury.
Oh,
amazing,
man,
Yeah, Freddie Mercury.
Was that like on your thing, like Daryl, and then
It was different. It
Yeah.
was just sort of like, sometimes you just feel you're going to know people at some point.
yeah, I've had that.
He was somebody I thought, and I also thought that about River Phoenix.
nice.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and and then in our our movie Stranger Inside, Rain was in it. So
That's
that
awesome.
was that was interesting. You
Yeah.
know, being with her, working with her, and talking about River and stuff.
Yeah, Joaquin's amazing too.
Oh, so amazing. The whole family.
What
Whole
amazing
family.
humans, man.
Yeah, very much so.
So no directors, no producers.
Okay. No. My dude is John Cassavetes.
Okay, what has he done?
Dude, he's
Oh my
done-
gosh.
Oh God.
My gosh. So my favorite is Gloria. Gloria from the 70s.
Oh, yeah, I
Or
remember
maybe
that, yeah.
it's like 80 maybe.
Was it Gloria?
It was
80.
early 80s.
I think it's either 80 or 81. Somewhere like
Great.
Was that
great
song
movie.
Gloria from that movie?
No.
Gloria?
No.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely
no.
not. Gloria was bad.
She
Okay,
was,
I gotta check that out.
Gosh.
So
Yo,
good.
see
They
it,
tried to
Toby.
do a remake with
Oh my
Sharon
gosh. Well, wait a
Stone.
minute.
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't even realize it was the same movie.
Really? I was
But
like,
I was
God.
an extra in that.
Oh wow.
Oh my
in the
God.
remake. I
The
didn't know-
remake, I was like,
Did
the
not know.
original
That's
was like
crazy.
the one I was like, oh, they made a remake.
Amazing. Amazing.
I gotta check that out.
Opening
Definitely.
night, Shadows. I mean, John Cassavetes is just my shit.
Okay.
So is Robert Altman, Claire Denis, Paul Thomas Anderson. I would say those are my directors.
What about Jim Jarmusch? Just throwing him in there. 'cause
I like
he's one of my
some
favorite.
things. I do.
He's a
They
freak.
just
I love
don't
him.
hit me as hard.
Right.
Yeah, they don't
I
hit
hear
me
that.
as hard. So
I'm just sad because he's from Cleveland. That's why.
Trying to prop his own city.
Got
Trying to drop
good
him
hair.
in. 216.
got good hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about actors like De Niro? De Niro fan?
Yeah, love De Niro.
Love De Niro, man.
Love De Niro.
I love Leonardo, man. He's so sick.
He's really good. He is very good. I also like Mahershala Ali. I like myself a lot. Sorry, y'all. I gotta
Mahershala,
pat myself on the back. I like
You
the
have
work
to.
I do. Yeah. I'm trying to think. There's somebody that I think of. It's so funny with actors because there's people that you see and you're just like, I like them. I think I like that person. And it's like,
Yeah.
do I want to work with them then? It's like, I know there's some, but of course I can't think of their name.
I like Christian Bale a lot.
I like Christian Bale. He's really good.
Pretty incredible,
What
man.
about Michael Shannon? I like Michael
Yeah.
Shannon.
Yeah, I like him too.
Like
He was in
Michael
8 Mile,
Shannon.
correct? He was the uncle in 8 Mile.
I never saw that.
Yeah, he's super
Wow.
underrated. Like I know the name and his
Like,
face,
he's
but
all
people,
over.
He's in everything, dude.
Yeah, he's all over.
He's great.
dude.
Yeah, he's great in 8 Mile. You should check it out. It's really
Okay, I'll watch it.
It's really good.
I didn't see it though.
He's coming up for sure, right? Michael Shannon. He's in so
Yeah,
many
he's-
things.
He's like in a world of his own. I feel
Yeah.
because I feel like
He's
he
a great
gets
bad
to
guy.
do all kind. Great bad guy, but he's also just an interesting person to watch. Whenever he does anything. So
Yeah. Who's some other ones? Anybody else? Derek, you want to say on here?
There's a list, man. I mean,
You'd have a list.
don't wanna
Pacino?
Pacino's great. Yeah, Pacino's great.
Is it hard being a woman actress? Actor? When did they change it from actress to actor?
You know what? Please tell me, and also tell me when we became African American over black. It's like I
yeah,
don't know
I'm trying
when
to
these
figure that
things.
out too.
It's like, oh wait, so we can't be that anymore. So what? Who makes up
Yeah.
these things? Like,
Yeah.
I say black.
I still trying to get over like it's strange thing when people are like and black and brown people and I was like I thought I was brown for some reason I don't understand
But
where
it's
this
all
whole
kinds of
you
funny.
know like I remember like Karis One it's like I'm brown from the
Boogie
boogie
Down.
down I was always like
That's right.
yeah I am brown it's-
yeah. Oh,
But-
but then
Yeah, your hat
light
is black
brown,
and your
but-
shirt is black.
yeah and I was like I
Yeah.
don't I was like, all right, okay.
It's so confusing what to say, and then
especially now.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Because
Cancel
it's
everything.
like it depends on who you are talking to.
Right.
It's like, if you're on, talking to a magazine or talking on the news or something, African American, because they understand that.
Right.
Black, well, I'm black, and that's what I am. That's what I grew up with. Just don't call me the N-word because then we're going to have a problem. So I don't play with that word in any way.
Yep.
It's just not something I've ever used. So it's like one thing to me.
What do you think about it, Derek?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I was the same way.
Yeah.
I was saying this
like,
before on
hate that word.
Before to you. I was like, it was just never in my house.
Yeah.
My parents never used it. And I said it makes people, if you're trying to communicate with people and use that word, then it demeans you. Even if you are using it. And that's what I say to people. It's like, why? I don't know. It's just not.
Well, I mean, it gets messy because it's like I get it when other people use it, amongst each other in friendly
in
ways.
songs and the radio, all that.
Well, and just talking amongst each other. But then, as soon as your white friend then goes out and says it, but I was saying it in a hip hop way. What? It's like I was just waiting for the time when somebody would do something to somebody black, in a racial way that's harmful. And then say, and then that word come up and them be like, oh, well, I was using it this way when I was beating his ass. It's like, no. But it did come up. It came up in a case in New York. And there it was right there in writing. Well, no, he was using it in this way. Oh, motherfucker, please. Just come on. But you knew it was going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
So it's just not a word I use ever.
Yeah.
And and I learned that when I was a kid, because my, like I said, my dad was strict. So it was like, we came up in the time of honky and the N-word, that kind of cracker. Yeah, like those words.
Cracker ass cracker.
So, me and my little black girlfriend at 7, she called me up, and nobody calls our house. Like, we're kids. Nobody calls our house.
No.
So, who's on the I got a phone call? Okay. So I'm on the phone and I'm talking all kind of low and quiet to my friend. That nigga. And then I heard the phone go click and I was like, oh shit, Daddy was on the phone. So I heard the phone click before I got off, popping shit on the telephone. And then, you standing there walking all slow, feeling sick, going back into the other part of the room, into the living room because you're like, am I going to get my ass beat for saying a bad word? I don't know what the word means, but, people say it at school and people, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was just being whatever. And, my dad started asking me questions. And then who was I talking to? And what were y'all talking about? And do you know what that word means? And I was like, shit, he was on the phone, When we had that conversation, it was like, wait, he didn't spank me? So for him to have a conversation with me about the word meant this is not just a bad word or a wrong or something like that. This is something else. This is something that means something. So I need to... The word is not coming out my mouth. Yeah. So that was that.
A lot of history and negative history too. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
growing up with Max. I always have these hip hop CDs, but they would be edited. I get them at Amoeba Records. So Eminem, it's every record I listen to.
They edited?
I would buy censored versions for the car for Max.
Okay.
So we would listen to music in the car. So there'd be no swear words. So it'd be like beep beep. Eminem have no words in it. and some reason one time I put in a Nas CD without being edited, and the word came on. And it came on a couple times, and after that, Max was super young. He was like, "What is that word?" And I pulled over the car, and then I told him all about the word and where it came from. And so it was Nas who kind of on accident, had educated Max on that word where it came from.
Yeah.
Moving forward, this is why he's saying it, but this is where it comes from. This is, it was really interesting because of that song actually coming in my car. But yeah,
see, and that sounds like the same kind of thing. It's like it's a learning experience, especially when you're a child learning it, you know, because it wasn't It wasn't something that we ever used. It wasn't something that I heard. I heard it at school.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear it at home.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I never heard that word until I moved from Newport, Rhode Island to Southern Maryland, where I went to like a it seemed like the whole school was segregated in the South in the 80s, my high school. And that's the first time I heard that word used in a derogatory manner, like a racist manner. Mm-hmm. Sorry, like first Confederate flags, all this shit, because my mom got a job out there. And that was a total like culture shock. It was crazy, man. If you look at my class of 88 yearbook, you listen to class of 88 yearbook, it's pretty much separated. Like you open up the yearbook, it's like black people one side, whites the other. It's totally messed up.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm on the black side with my white uniform choice hoodie on. I was like Bleach Tear, like punk rocker and shit. Because we were like the rebels in that town. We moved to Southern Maryland. There's no skateboarders, no punk rockers. It was just South. You know, Rusty was our maintenance man. He had a mullet. He was like a redneck dude. So it was like this total culture. I swear to God, Rusty knows. I got a picture. He's like, hey man, how you guys doing? I'm Rusty. I'm your maintenance man. Anyway, so yeah, that word was my mom told us about that word, and they moved in there and seen it. All that was just a scary word, man. It's just a. But then when you listen to hip hop, it's in there, so it's like.
It's in there.
Well, yeah, it's all in there.
It's on the radio, and it's like.
You know, and I don't even know. I don't know. It's just the whole subject that I stay away from, but it's totally messy. Yeah, it's just messy because it's like you get down on white people for singing a song, and then it's like. Right. Would you put it in the song? It's like,
I know, that's why it's like, and you don't want people to say it at all.
Yeah, like
I remember Jay-Z talking about how they're going to take something that was negative and turn it to positive and make it like something that wasn't derogatory and wasn't demeaning. It was like more like I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, but that's how I've heard as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't just work that way.
I know.
Because not everybody wants to use it in that way.
No.
So,
I know.
There's just to me there's just too many. It has too much of a background, too much of a history.
For sure,
negative history.
A negative history. Yeah. And that's cool. Your dad told you that and schooled you on that, and it stuck with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so that was it. That was it for me. That's my end day. Inward day. The end of my inward days.
And what do you think about like the future with like acting? And I know in music and stuff, a lot of times you get asked like, when do you think people, or will people ever get over the fact of like, hey, you're an incredible director and actor, period. Not like woman actor or black actor or anything.
I don't think,
Good question, Derek Green.
Excellent.
Where it's just like, wow.
I don't think it's going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we as people, especially people in this industry, they need to be able to put some sort of label on things, so because I don't think that unless you are white male, usually, that they will know why you are special. Oh, well, her stuff is so good because she's black.
Right.
Because she's a she and she's black.
Wow.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be so good. That's how it feels. That's how it looks.
That's horrible, man.
But that's how it looks to me because it's like, who else in this business, is giving labels? It's everybody but white men. Oh, well, that's a trans actor. Oh, well, that's a this. Oh, well, that's a that. Nobody's like, oh, well, that's a white male. Well, duh. Yeah. Everybody is, aren't they?
That's a good point.
So
that's a great point.
Yeah, I feel like.
So it still feels very male dominated.
Yeah, it's very male dominated. It's crazy. But what you mentioned something though before that I want to speak on real quickly, and it's the mullet.
Yes.
The mullet. And this is crazy because I look at what I brought.
Yeah.
So
Tiger King shirt.
Yeah, and I brought this from your friend. What's his name?
Jake.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jake Rocks Off.
Yo, love it.
He's the best.
But seeing this shit, I was like, what is this?
Crazy, man.
The Tiger King dude, what in the world are these people doing down in Oklahoma? How do you have a gay dude with a mullet in the 2000s, like looking like that, out in the backwoods with tigers? Like, what?
It's crazy, man.
I was watching this shit and I could not believe it was real.
I know.
Because I'm like, first off,
It's sadly real.
it's sadly real. Like this whole group of madness is sitting down there.
I'm not worried about. I'm worried about the treatment of the animals. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but exactly.
Brutal.
But then I'm like, okay, just thinking about it. All right, so you're going down to Oklahoma to go visit family or whatever, and you got little Billy with you, and there's this sign. It's not exactly that big. It's not Disneyland or Disney World, but it says there's some tigers to look at and da-da-da, and it's down this back road. Who the fuck is going down there?
Great point.
But I was looking and I was like, there better not be no black people down there. And sure enough, there was one with her sick kid. And I'm like, do you not understand that we are the first to die in these horrible and scary movies? It's like, what would make you go down this road with this dude with this mullet, this gun, and they're talking about tigers roaming freely?
Yeah.
And you gonna go down there? Like,
it's crazy that show was like the most talked about thing when the COVID started.
yeah.
And then all like real stuff happened in the world, like
Yeah, like real.
crazy shit. But this was like the main thing. Shit,
remember.
like the timing, like it was.
Yeah, it
It's
hit at the
surreal.
top.
It's like an SNL skit in real life almost. That
They were bananas.
Yeah.
This guy with his songs and because
Oh,
like
yeah, that's right, his
it just-
commercials.
everything, and he was
He's in jail.
But I was sitting there the whole time and I was like, well, this dude is gay, right? And because it's like it wasn't making sense to me. His story wasn't making sense to me.
Yeah.
And then it came out like he did say, and then he had like a young lover dude and da-da-da. And I'm just like, wait, this is happening in Oklahoma? Like where are you people at? Like this is bananas.
So
to
it was
me.
almost like an underground kind of world.
Yeah,
right?
it was a
Scene.
whole like how they were doing all this craziness in the
And
tigers
getting away with it
and
too.
just
And there's a bunch like that supposedly too.
terrible.
I
Yeah,
think they
there-
shut
I
a bunch
mean-
down since the show too. I think it brought light on the insanity, but also for like saving the animals. I think a lot of animals got saved from that.
That's one thing that needed to be done
It
immediately.
really did.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why these people should have animals
No.
at all. You know?
No, not at all. I mean, it's just scary. And it's like, ugh.
It was the most talked about shit though. Remember when this shit first kicked off? It's like, well, at least we got the Tiger King. We're on lockdown. It's like well, I mean, it's like
Yeah, because when you thought it was just
Because
going to be a
reality,
little,
yeah. I was like, this will be over in a month.
yeah, I'll
Yeah,
watch
just-
this craziness. And it's like,
but it was massive. I wonder if the guy's still in jail. Who freaking knows, man? That was crazy. That was one of
Yeah.
those crazy reality things I've ever seen.
yeah,
Because it was,
besides
like,
our
still
real
existing.
reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh gosh.
Well, I think we covered a lot of your life today, Yolanda Ross.
Yeah, more than, yeah.
No, I think we talked about a lot. We covered,
That was awesome.
right?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'm really happy for you, like seeing your journey and knowing you as my boss.
Be quiet.
One of my
Yo,
best bosses I ever had. One of the last real jobs I ever had. I worked some shit since then, but that was just like a fun group of people and diverse, and the music we played and all that. Just like,
all of it.
and it's before we started really doing what we're doing now, and like here we are now doing the stuff that we love. We're really lucky, and John Fuentes, he does stuff at schools. His rap
Yeah.
career, all that stuff. It's what up
We
to
are
Nika and
very
Christine and
Nika.
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
I can't believe Isaac worked there. That's crazy. I
Yeah,
forgot
he
about
totally
that.
did.
Yes.
He totally did.
But yeah, one of my questions that I'm gonna know the answer to. You're a pretty positive person, but you said you're a realist. But you focused on everything your whole life, and it's awesome to get where you want to go. You know. Mm-hmm. You put the juju out there. Is what I'm doing. You know.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
All in the back of Daryl, and he has no idea until he met him. That's my favorite takeaway from this whole thing. Is that,
And that's when I had to take Stella out, and I missed the
oh yeah,
entire
well,
part.
the Daryl from
I was like, wait a minute, I gotta hear this.
no, the Daryl from Hall and Oates was
Yeah.
like.
Oh yeah, you were here.
It was her dream.
I
Like,
missed, like,
he
the
inspired her.
big
He
portion.
inspired her to go. She wanted to meet him and fucking.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna listen to the podcast.
I'm just saying though.
Find
But that was so out of left field. And you never talked about that before.
No.
Sick, man.
no
I'm so happy that Daryl's like the #1 subscriber to this podcast.
Absolutely.
He's so happy.
You
But-
got to get on Daryl's house. That would be amazing.
What is that? Is it a show?
Yeah, he's got a whole show. Like,
Oh,
he's
I
got a
heard
whole
about
show where
this.
people go up to his. Well, it used to be his actual house, and they would just come up and just
What's the
play
address?
live. House up somewhere, but no, but he now has a club upstate. I think it's like Pauling, New York, and it's
sure it's
set
awesome.
up to look like the same thing, and people come up and they play.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I'd love to go there.
I would love to see you on there.
Okay, we'll make it happen. Tell your man. Tell Daryl.
Daryl?
Is Daryl on Instagram? Are the Hall & Oates on Instagram?
I don't know.
know.
It's a good
Yeah,
question.
he's got his
We're gonna
own
track
thing.
these guys down, man.
I
This
know,
is
right?
so-
I want you on there.
I'd love to be on there.
I want you guys, because he does like everybody's music.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like they cover a couple of whoever the guest songs are, and then some Hall & Oates songs. You should be on there.
I'll be down.
And I'll sing with you.
And my takeaway from this podcast is don't ever wear Adidas cologne.
Yeah.
For
Don't
sure.
wear it too heavy. Don't wear it too heavy.
And follow your dreams and believe in yourself like Yolanda did and go to New York at 17 not knowing anybody to do stuff in fashion. And then all of a sudden she's an incredible actress and she's killing it. And here she is now on The Chi, which are my favorite shows. I'd love that show if you weren't on there. It just so happens you're on there. You told me about the show. Everything about the show is amazing, and you're killing it. Proud of you.
Yo, thank you.
You haven't aged. You haven't aged a bit.
No,
straight
you
up.
either.
man.
Just different hair colors.
Thank you. Yeah, but thanks. Where can people find you on your? Is it Yolanda Creator on Instagram?
Yeah, on Instagram, Yolanda Ross, and Yolanda has 2 O's, YOLONDA. Yolanda Ross _ creator. Facebook and Twitter, and my website is just Yolanda Ross.
And do you have anything coming out besides the next season of The Chi? Are you working on some things, or are you writing stuff?
Yeah, like I'm working right now to get this financing in place for my features, so that once we finish the next season, I can just go straight to that and direct.
Now, as an actor, is it known, like, for bands, like we do GoFundMe, people do that for different people. Would you ever do a GoFundMe for a project you're working on? Or does it feel weird doing that?
It feels weird doing it.
Okay, I'd never do one.
But
either,
it's also that's a shitload of work.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of work. That's like a team of people.
Okay.
And
because there's different tiers, and you give you time and all that.
Out there. Push
and
it.
I need $2 million. So I wish I could finance it myself.
Well,
I don't have Mel Gibson money.
I know somebody that does have $2 million that probably would like to invest, and his name's Daryl. If he's listening to, he's got an extra $2 million.
just two. 1 for each
And you
hand.
have his music and the sound, like
I can do that. I can do that.
a little
He could
deal,
score.
I can
right?
do that.
To score it, yes. Oh
And
my
he's
God!
so
if he scored
good.
the movie,
He still makes music, right?
Yeah.
course.
They still
Come on,
tour
man.
and they sound amazing.
amazing, bro.
So you listen to this
Amazing.
podcast. If you don't know what The Chi is or Daryl Hall & Oates is, you're fucked on this episode. I'm pretty much sure. No, we cover a lot. Yolanda's journey. Thank you, Derek, for being here.
Word.
So
Always a
good
pleasure.
seeing
We go back.
both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all go
We
back.
go back. It's
We go
crazy,
way
man.
back.
And here we're in LA in my kitchen during a pandemic. Our
Little
temperatures
Stella
are good.
sleeping. Yep, our temperatures are good. We're
Fantastic
good.
temperatures.
Happy to be alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thankful.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. This has been an incredible conversation. And this will be episode, who knows? But this is how many hours we speak? 2 hours. That's
Oh,
great.
shit, for real?
That was a great flow. Is this the longest interview you ever done, Yolanda?
Yo, it's the longest I've ever talked, period.
All right. Thank you for being here, Yolanda. That was awesome.
Thank
gonna sign
you,
off.
Toby. Bye, y'all.
Peace, y'all. That was awesome, dude. Hey, guys. Thanks for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet to this podcast, please do that. And whatever platform you are listening to this on, I'm glad you found me. You can rate me and review me on there also. So thank you guys sincerely for the support. I cannot wait for you guys to hear the next one.